right. Hey, I've got a doozy to share, and I have a shit ton of anxiety right now, and butterflies in my stomach to even record this video. Even as I may share it on the Instagram, which will go to Facebook and whatever, and fear of the judgment I might receive for it, and that fear is the shame that I get to hold on for my actions as a little boy. And fear that that man's weird, or that little boy is weird, and I've held on to this for 48 years for fear of judgment, and for fear of being outcast, for fear of being whatever, labeled or whatever it might be. But right now it's time for me to continue the purge and letting go. Super scared. Emotional right now, and just trying to keep it together so I can get through this. But sexual abuse. I was abused from probably about 4 years old up until about 12, and I learned early, or sexualized early, from some of this abuse. A family member may be playing what may be seen as a doctor thing with me, that didn't feel like, and I remember the instance vaguely, but it didn't seem traumatic to me. A friend of the family's daughter, who was probably 5 or 6 years older than me, sat me on top of her when she was naked, and a family member, older son, and a sister was watching, and this friend of the family's daughter, and I sat me on her naked. I was naked, and she peed all over me. And a family member saw this and was laughing, a sibling. And then probably the same time, I'm not sure, all this kind of mixes about probably 4.5 or 5 years old, really young. And then, stayed the night at another friend of the family's house. Stayed with one of their sons, who was probably 5, 6, 7 years older than me, raped me. And I remember that being very painful. And remember having to go to the bathroom after that, and because I was just in pain. And remember his mom waking up and asking what's wrong, and the older boy telling his mom I had a stomach ache. And it wasn't a stomach ache, it was just pain. And here's the heavy duty part that I'm having a hard time sharing, and my regret, and that I abused someone when I was really young. I was probably 6.5 or so, I don't know. And there was a younger girl around me, and I didn't physically touch her or anything, but I made her take her clothes off to show me. So I have much regret for that I was abused, and then I became the abuser, and I have so much fear and judgment, or fear that I'm gonna be judged and fucking labeled that I'm a abuser or whatnot, and I have much remorse for that, and how I should have been put in that position, that this was some kind of point of receiving attention, or was so focused on that as a young boy. And if I ever can say or apologize to that young girl, but I deeply regret my actions, and was I even responsible? Was I responsible that young, not knowing how terrible that was, and how terrible the things that happened to me, and I had never had an experience like that after, where I was in this power role or above someone, where I was the abuser, and that makes me feel yucky inside. I'm not that person, but I have much regret. And I know people that have been abused. They learned that somewhere, and somehow I luckily stopped didn't ever have that kind of behavior again. Though I did have other things in my behavior or sexual things. Like after, 10 or 11 years old or 12 years old when the sexual abuse stopped, I became very lonely because that was my form of attention. And this 54-year-old man, as a boy living on a ranch in Nevada, trying to pleasure myself, I played with myself using fucking motor oil in the fucking barn. Ugh. Oh my God. So, how normal is that? How fucked up am I? I'm not fucked up. But I had a very, very messed up handful of experiences early on that really I've carried this baggage for so long, and I'm over it. And doing my very best to forgive all those that hurt me, because I need the freedom and know that I'm not going to take the blame any longer for that stuff. I can't hide from it. I don't need to hide myself. I need to stop protecting and go back to a point of healing and taking care of this little boy right here. And man, didn't ever think I'd share this, so thank you for listening. If this was something helpful to you, if something similar happened to you, go back to maybe where you first received the experiences. It's not something that a child is born an abuser. We're shown these things, whether it's to be someone that's angry or that yells, or to physically abuses someone or sexually abuses something. We're shown all that by the adults around us, or by the older people around us as children, when we're just like little sponges and absorbing all this. So I really hope this is helpful. It's scary and helpful. I'm curious to see if my viewer numbers go up or down after this. Fuck, I don't care. Who cares? None of that shit matters. But thank you for watching. And don't record these super vulnerable videos while you're driving.